What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Today I was sent a couple media clips, local news from Las Vegas. And it was regarding this Sin City Manny, Finney the Great, Bubbles. It was regarding the incident where, as we all know, Sin City Manny wound up gunning down Finney the Great and his wife Bubbles live on YouTube. And we heard from the DA in those clips, and I wanted to talk about that. I already had an idea that I wanted to talk about Manny attempting to use self-defense. I think it's pretty clear the guy has no understanding of what's going on. Maybe he thought with all of the videos of them poking and poking and poking and poking that he had a defense, and he possibly may have a defense, but it's not going to be self-defense. The only defense he has is temporary insanity. The media said that Manny is looking into hiring private counsel. That's a must. Double homicide, that's a must. Relying on a public pretender to defend you against double murder beef, and one that is a death penalty case, one where it's premeditated by the looks of it. You do not want a public pretender as your attorney. Before I get any further into this, I want to say that in these media clips that I saw, they were showing that people that were on the scene that witnessed it, they called in. There were also people who watched it live from all over the place that called in 911. Sadly, one of the calls was Finney and Bubbles' son. And you could tell in his voice he was emotional. He was worried. And he just wanted to know, are his mom and dad okay? Imagine seeing your mother and father live. You're right there and you're rooting for your mom and dad. You're rooting for Pops. He's doing his thing. You may even think in the back of your mind, I hope he doesn't run into Manny. I hope they make it back okay. I hope there's no drama. And then the next thing you know, you see your mother trying to push Manny away, telling Manny, don't do nothing around here. And then you see the gun. And then you see what happens. And he has nobody to call, because the only people he could call were both shot. Murder is always senseless. At the end of the day, it's always senseless. If you kill to defend your family, your property, that's not murder. When you pull a gun out with hate in your heart, it's going to be senseless. It's permanent for the victim as well as the aggressor. I don't know what type of sentence Manny's going to get. As I said, his best bet would have been playing the crazy role when he turned himself in, playing it every time he went to court, every time a cop comes by the cell. Talk to the psychologist, whoever you can. Because right now, what we're seeing is a man who threw it all away because of ego. I've seen the post by Finney's daughter on TikTok, very emotional. She had the same birthday as her dad. I've heard the son. And me not having a dog in the fight, not having a reason to pick sides. I've also seen the videos where Finney and his friends were making fun of Manny, saying that Manny was going to kill himself and laughing about it. Finney and his friends were talking about how many times they reported Manny's channel, laughing about it. This is like the old story of the Hatfield and the McCoys, except one side won. It's over. I hope it's over. Finney and Bubbles have a son and a daughter. Manny and his wife have a son. I don't know how many kids they have. Hopefully this doesn't spill over to the kids, man. This was YouTube beef. These were perfect strangers that went too far, that took it too far. They couldn't have whoever gets more views determine the winner. Finney was a big dude. Manny was somebody that grew up around people that were about that life. In Finney's mind, I'm sure he felt heads up from the shoulders, it wouldn't be close. And Manny, his idea was, if we ever get into it, I'm going to put him in the dirt. And so that night, when you saw Finney turn around to see what was going on, I'm sure he thought, I'm going to finally whoop this dude's ass. They both knew at that moment there was going to be a confrontation, but they were both playing by different rules. Very unfortunate, man. The DA already said on the news that there is no way that, looking at all the footage, again, it happened on a live. I'm sure there's other camera angles. The DA said there's no way, in reviewing the footage that he has seen, that there's going to be any way that his defense will be self-defense. My understanding is it was legal to carry that gun. He was walking by. He was accosted by Bubbles. Really, he wasn't. But that's going to be his story. And her husband spun around, and he's a lot bigger, stronger. Manny's going to still say he felt threatened. And this is not the first run-in. But there's just way too much for the DA to use, for the DA to put in front of the jury. If Manny Wise is wise at all, he's going to take the best deal smoking. He has to hope that this DA isn't going to be one of those overzealous DAs that sees this as his ticket to become a private counsel, win this case, bury this dude, get all the media attention, and then become private counsel and charge people top dollar for winning a slam dunk case. The DA doesn't see any humanity in Manny. It's not his job. It's his job to make Manny a monster. I think Manny's going to make that easy for him. He already did. Painting his face and saying certain things. The defense is going to show the lives, the streams, the videos, whatever, of Finney the Great and his friends clowning and laughing, wishing that Manny would take his own life, wishing that they could, or laughing about taking his channel down, knowing that's his main source of income or his only source of income. This is a sad case, man. And as it unfolds, I'll do more. I'll do more videos. I think this is important for all content creators to look at. And I know most won't. Most think they're tough. You just never know who you're dealing with. It's an unfortunate thing. That's my video for the day, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.